So the Lightspeed project, or AKA as we call Connectivity for All, or the Internet for All, it goes by a lot of different names, is basically a forward-thinking economic development strategy to get every resident in the city of Aurora connected. So we're a population of about 200,000, but it's more than just connectivity. It's really getting connectivities to those residents at an economical price point, right? We have seen all the impacts with COVID, with kids and remote working. We just want to make sure that every citizen, every visitor, every business has an option to have that utility at an affordable price. It's also about inclusion. It's also about equity. And it's also about giving those different demographics of people who would not have that luxury, the opportunity to be able to do their schoolwork, to get connected to vital government services, to browse the internet, right? To, do your census, right? Because today, just like water, gas, electricity, that internet access is a utility, and we refer to it as the fourth utility. So the approach and part of the strategy in getting people connected, and we know that with the Infrastructure Investment Job Act, there's a lot of funding coming down from the federal government. But the city of Aurora, we're not waiting for that. We already have the middle mile. What we're looking to do is just to expand that out and to connect. It's approximately another 700 fiber optic miles that will be connected throughout the city, past every home. The approach we are going to take is basically working with a community-based partner who provides internet services. It's called OnLight Today, and they would be kind of that extension to the city to make sure that the internet is actually delivered. So in terms of how we're going to fund that, we're going to go and get a capital revenue bond. That revenue bond will basically be paid back based on forecasted revenues over a 30-year period. Right? It allows us to basically to build out that infrastructure and amortize the cost over 30 years. This is how we're going to be able to lower the cost with regards to the internet services that will be actually delivered to the residents. With regards to digital equity and making sure that we have a effective strategy, is developing a strategy. What are kind of the key areas we're looking to target in terms of those, I'm going to say those sustainability development goals around inclusion, right? So what we're doing at the City of Aurora right now is actually trying to develop that strategy and document that and make sure that the mayor's office, his department staff, and the city council are happy with those objectives and basically provide the sponsorship that's required for us to kind of execute on that. Sponsorship, funding, resources to help us to kind of drive that roadmap and actually move forward. Well, I think with the digital divide, and I think it's really the COVID impact. And during that period, we've seen the impacts, right, on business, on government, on families, on schools, on hospitals, on the world. And now we know that we have to be prepared to respond to that in a way that we won't be negatively impacted in the future. It's about contingency planning and making sure that the government is ready, can provide those critical services to our citizens. Public safety is not impacted. Also, we can still promote economic development and be engaged with our citizens. I think the main thing from the City of Aurora is, again, we want to be a forward-thinking municipality. We're not going to wait. We're not going to ride the wave. We're going to be the tip of the spear and moving this forward. With regards to the Lightspeed project, AKA broadband as a utility, we want to create the model here in Aurora that we can duplicate in other municipalities, because one of the main things is government, we are risk adverse, right? But if you can show a use case and say this is a proven model and we can implement it and we are executing on that, then they'll be more apt to accept that model. And I think that the City of Aurora will be that catalyst in this space to implement that model in the City of Aurora and nationwide.